This is Bill Schelli. You may know him best from his stage name, Chet Gunderson.
Rocket Pro Wrestling fans, staff, wrestlers, managers, and friends. My name is Chet Gunderson. I'm founder of Rocket Pro Wrestling.
This is his story. From hot rods and hairspray to taped glasses with a suit and tie, Bill shares with us where it all started.
I grew up in Berwyn, which is just past Cicero, next town over on the west side. Alleys, gangs, fun times. Went to our Catholic grade school there, St. Odilo in Berwyn, and was born and raised there. Actually, I wasn't born there, I was born in Chicago, but raised in Berwyn. Well, I was raised in a 3-flat, and anybody from Chicago or Chicagoland area that knows a 3-flat is 3 units, 1 building. My grandmother owned the top one. My Italian grandmother lived in the basement and we lived in the middle, so I was never really a slim kid. I mean, we ate. You open up the back porch door, right? And you could smell which grandma was cooking, and that's the way you went up the back stairs, down the back stairs. So, small town, but city. And it was really a nice way to grow up as a kid. I had a brother who passed away at age 13 at a very young age. And I do have one living sister, and she is a court reporter in the city of Chicago.
After a tragic loss, Bill will go on and live his life to the fullest.
I was a bit of a metalhead in the 80s, so I had the hair and the Trans Am and the different girlfriend every weekend, and I lived that 80s Bon Jovi, Motley Crue lifestyle, which I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't change for the world, because it's a part of me today. That showmanship that comes from that era is we were all, I mean, the guys were prettier than the girls, and I was one of them. I'll boast on that. They liked like Bon Jovi guys for like this 2-year window, right? And I got lucky because I had the hair and the look. Bam, I met Michelle. Michelle was like one of the hottest girls in Cicero. We got together in 1987. I've been with my wife since 87. On and off for a little while in the beginning because we were, young. But she was the one, and here we are today, and that's.
But before meeting Michelle, Bill will share with us his first love, wrestling.
All the way back to when we only had 10 channels on TV, no cable, right? And I'm talking, that's early 70s when I was a little kid, 5, 6. Had to get up and turn it because there was no remote control, but black and white every Sunday morning was wrestling. You got home from church, wrestling was on, even my grandfather would watch. My Uncle Bill was into professional wrestling, and we would watch with them. We wouldn't even go in the living room because they would put us in some kind of hole, And my uncle used to do this, and I hated it. And he called it broda, and he would take your face and put it on his beard and rub it back and forth. Can you imagine what that felt like when you got that baby soft skin? Or Indian burns, where you would go like this. Into the 80s we went, and it's the Hulk Hogan era, Randy Macho Man Savage, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Gorilla Monsoon. Even though the Bears were really great in the 80s, we would still watch Monday Night Wrestling, Monday Night Prime Time, it was called, WWF. My wife is also into professional wrestling as well. She has been, her father was into it, so all the way back into her childhood it was there. My son, who is also part owner of Rocket Pro Wrestling and pretty much the guy who says everything that I have to do. We went to a WWE event when he was young, and everything was like Star Wars because he was a kid, He had all the lightsabers and whatever else. We went to the WWE at Allstate Arena, and the lights go down, and The Undertaker, dong, comes on, and I saw my kid's face, and his jaw dropped. From that day forward, everything was WWE and wrestling. I could hear him in his bedroom practicing his moves at night.
But wrestling isn't the only thing that keeps Bill occupied. As the multi-business owner explains, he's been doing this for a while.
I've been in maintenance and plumbing and cleaning and fixing my whole life. My father sent me to work on my 16th birthday, so I'll never forget it because I was pissed. I gotta go to work on my 16th birthday, are you kidding me? used to clean heat treating factories, 120 degrees in the summer, with all that hair hanging out, but they never said nothing about having long hair. I started getting into other trades, so I'm a licensed and bonded locksmith right now. I'm a plumber, heating and air guy, and electrical, and just a skilled general handyman, hanging speakers. I can do whatever you want, right? Pull wires. You don't learn it from a book. You learn it on the job. It kind of progressed to a bank in the city called Pioneer Bank, and I was a steam boiler operator. I've been doing this, like I said, gosh, 16 to 55. I don't even know how to do that math, but for a long time. They used to call me the mayor of Michigan Avenue because I'd always be outside, you know, with this all lit up, you know, having a good time. And don't get me wrong, we'd go steal a few at the Billy Goat, have a few quick beers, come back out. You thought I was the mayor before I drank? You should see me after I have a few belts, buddy. It's cool.
But that's not all. Bill also knows his way around the kitchen as he shares his recipe to the tasty fish fry.
Researched the fastest, easiest, best fish that I could find. And I found one that everybody's like, bro, that's the best fish, man. So, you know, when I hear that, I'm like, okay, that's great. With those fish fries, the Knights of Columbus are known for their fish fries. And I did not become a Knight of Columbus until 2010. So I've only been a 12-year Knight. I started doing that as fundraisers for churches. Like my church, St. Joe's Joliet, is where I do it now. I also did a lot for St. Joe's in Downers Grove, which is my hometown. My son was into fish fries. My son is a Knight of Columbus. So it's a father and son thing, and we kind of stick together. Get this. This is what the cool part is, what it gets you excited. And you can see it on my face, watch. Bringing in the money, turning in the bills and saying, Bill, you made $3 grand in one Ash Wednesday for the church. I mean, victory, man. When you are bringing in all that money and it's going out there, the smile on people's faces for them helping the church. Because running out to the car, they're like, Bill, you know, and I live for that. It's very difficult to estimate how many people you're gonna have and not overbuy the food. You know, so that part's not exciting. Nobody will sign up to clean up. You're gonna be there. Nobody's gonna sign up to go get there early and help you unload your van of fish. You know, it's just things that you do, and I do it because I'm part of a parish. And a parish is a group of people that, excuse my French, get shit done. That's it. The guys who get shit done is who I like to hang out with, and it's very exciting to get a bunch of get shit done guys in one room to cook and serve over 600 meals in one day. Plus you can sneak a few out of the back. And it's in the blood, the restaurant and the catering stuff. I was considering opening one at St. Joe's Park for catering and events in that arena. I tell you, my grandmother, may her soul rest in peace, was the head cook at Manny's Coffee Shop in downtown Chicago, the famous Manny's, for 55 years. I would hear her creak across that 3-flat floor at 2 o'clock in the morning, and there'd be a cab sitting out in front, and she would leave every day at 2:30 in the morning and go and make all that food for all those people in Chicago.
Both the kitchen and the church hold a special place in Bill's heart. In fact, he says they are the foundation of Rocket Pro.
Working at the church period helped mold Rocket Pro Wrestling. I bought that ring for my son for a graduation present because he was that into wrestling. Working in the kitchen and stuff and gotten to see that in action, I knew what to do. You know, I do air conditioning, I made the whole park. I do all that maintenance there because you have ownership in something then. You know, I walk in, does it look like I own that place when you walk in? Yeah. But I own every room when I walk in it.
In addition to his supreme confidence, Bill shares what it took to lift the business off the ground.
So you're brand new on social media, you know, you just put up your Rocket Pro page. You're fumbling around trying to feel your way through homemade flyers. You can't just say, hey, I'm having an event 2 days before and think there's going to be people there. It just don't work like that. You have to be able to be in their face with something new and fresh every day, or they get bored. It's social media. If you can't grab it, hold it, and bring it with you, it won't come. The arena setup was a trick, but I jumped right in because of Amazon. And I said, okay, let me see what all these guys, so what you type in stage lighting. Boom, it goes up, and I mean, it's got all these things, control boards and everything. And I bought a bunch of stuff, some decent gear. Now, I didn't go over the top because it's very costly, which is not paid for yet, by the way, so we still need our fans. Putting the arena together is not tough because I'm an event coordinator for the Knights of Columbus, an event coordinator for the church, you know, an event coordinator at home. Everybody always has relied on me for the party. Since I was a young kid, barbecuing, standing there, sneaking beers in the backyard, all the way till today, people rely on me to coordinate these events. I don't know why.
Well, Bill is a person of character.
Kind of crazy.
That too, but our motto is play hard but get it done.
My motto is don't worry, Bill's got it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Bill does a lot for the community. He does a lot for the church, a lot for charity. Not to mention what he does for RPW. Yeah. He's just an all-around great guy. He's a guy that if you ever need him, he's always there.
And he's funny too.
Yes.
That's just not the way he looks.
There's a saying my audiovisual guy Mitch has, is make it work and then make it pretty. So we make all this crap work and then we tie it all up with zip ties so that the fans don't see the shit.
The amount of fans is, I lost money for the first 3 years. Some shows I didn't break even at all. But then I started making a little bit of money and putting it right back in the company. Adding better wrestlers to the roster. Letting the wrestlers pick their ideas has changed my fan base to where I don't get nervous about the fans like I used to anymore. Don't get me wrong, I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning putting out social media posts to get people to the show. But again, that's all showmanship as well. Now we got recognition. Now we're rolling down the highway. Now, and again, we have to spend a lot more money than some of the other promotions do to get the top talent all under one roof. But that's what people want. They don't want to go see them scattered all over. So at Rocket Pro, we're trying to just bring the best talent in the Midwest and beyond and constantly switching it up to where the fans are always entertained. That's the most important thing, and that's what got us to where we are from that lowly state of starting up the company, which sometimes you want to give up.
I'm fatigued, I'm tired. It takes a lot to do all this. Major league fatigue, and then you don't sleep because you got to worry about all this. So you can see in my eyes, not full of energy at the moment.
It's not easy being the boss. Sure, we see the lights flashing and broken doors, but what we don't see is the process before showtime.
Before showtime starts on Thursday night. Have to break down senior fare, 200 chairs and 30 tables all have to be put away or put on the racks and put in the corner. The hardest thing is those stupid risers that you see the stage on. That whole thing, those things are so heavy, they're from like the 60s, and I hate doing those. So when I get interns, that's what they do. Then we have to pull the ring out.
The ring is a challenge of its own. But with the help of a few friends, it all comes together. Piece by piece.
All the lights have to be staged out, so I put them all out on a wall and get them all going. Those curtains you see all have to go up, but we do that last because you can just run right through without the curtains on, and people aren't knocking my curtains all over the dusty floor. Once the ring is set up, the AV is an entire day of audio visual, and some people know exactly what that's about. It's an all-day affair. Concessions has to be done. Somebody's got to go to the store. The bar is all by itself, and St. Joseph's Church runs it and makes all the money from it.
So the stage is set, but there's still one more task that lies ahead.
Come Friday night, it's test time. So usually our DJ comes in. He's got to go, I'll use Marche Rocket as an example. He'll say Marche Rocket in 3, 2.
Roxy. Wow.
To be all Marche red and blue with all those lights you see that I turn on for Marche Rocket, all have to be done before he says Marche Rocket in 3, 2, 1.
After all preparations, Bill delivers his promise to give the fans exactly what they paid for. A good show.
And then it's all got to come down and be put back in its original boxes because I'm anal about it. And I want my crap in its original box. So everybody's like, man, Bill, it'd be so much easier if you'd like, don't tell me how to do it.
Yeah, exhausting, man. My back hurts. Plus, I did all the air conditioning on the roof in the hot 90-degree sun in a black uniform all day long. I thought I was going to die.
So yeah, it's labor intensive, but fun too, because we go out to eat, we have breakfast, we stop, we take breaks, we laugh, we joke, we call each other names. Anybody who's been there knows what I'm talking about.
I hate you now, and I'm going to hate you then. I'm the owner, and I don't like you. So it's the last time I'm talking to you, but not you. You can shadow me all night.
And with that being said, he doesn't do it all by himself, as he names a few friends who've helped along the way.
Definitely Mitch Raines. That is my AV technician. Of course, my wife is very influential in the business. I mean, Schelli runs the company. Don't for 1 minute think I do, because I don't. I just take orders, you know. Her morals are a little better than mine. I'm a little more loosey-goosey, where I don't care about certain things, but she's tight as a drum on something. It's also a good cop, bad cop situation, because if somebody's got to be the good cop, I'll take that. And then she's the bad cop. So her and Will, I just put it all off on them. My son is, without my son, Rocket Pro Wrestling doesn't exist. He's the driving force behind the storylines with Kevin Palmer, who you've met, who is, there's no words for Kevin Palmer. I mean, again, he's another one. Without Kevin Palmer and Will, there's no RPW. Kevin and I met at Menards. He'd walk with me because he had to do his rounds, you know, and we'd talk about wrestling the whole way. My son said, hey, you know, I want a wrestling ring for my graduation. I told Kevin, hey, I got this wrestling ring. Can you train my kid? Next thing you know, we talked about it. Father wants us back at St. Joseph's Park, wants us to be at St. Joseph's Park. We started the company. Will, Kevin, and me got the ring over there. Rocket Pro Wrestling was formed. So as you can imagine, Kevin and Will, Michelle, me, Mitch, that's the top. I got that guy, Sean Ryan, who's my security guard and very close friend and another night at Columbus. David Knapp in yellow in the kitchen is phenomenal. Dave Ortman. These are all nights at Columbus. Mike Madonna's a night at Columbus. Captain Dave in the kitchen is a night at Columbus. Matt Borgard out in the lobby. The State Farm guy, Benoit Wimp, is a night at Columbus. You see how that all ties together? Fish fries, wrestling, Knights of Columbus, Catholic Church, Catholic faith, community. You know, this is what you were looking for, is how did that happen? That's it.
Earlier, I was asked, what is the future of RPW in St. Joe's Park and fish fries and all that? I want to do an Oktoberfest out here. I can throw an event. I think I proved that in this documentary. And I want to do house music and get every race here. Hispanic, black, white, Polish, Italian, I don't care. They all follow house music. And I'm looking forward to maybe next year doing a SummerSlam. Thanks. I'll see you guys inside.
In addition to how much he puts in, it's the connection that Bill has with the fans that makes it all worthwhile.
Treat people the way you would want to be treated. I don't like it when somebody doesn't say hi to me. It makes me weary of them, right? So I say hi to everybody with a big shit-eating grin on my face. And again, it makes people feel warm, welcome, you know, they're not afraid to approach you. You have to be approachable. I feel I'm approachable. I'm real, man. I'm real. I talk to people like they're real. It's just, you know, get rid of the fake, be who you are. If somebody don't like you, who cares? That's their problem, that ain't your problem. You know, you just gotta, I carry myself that way. My connection with the fans too is that I wanna give them the best I can give them, because you're dealing with 4 days of my life, 4 days that I can't make money, you know, because I really don't make a lot of money with RPW. So if I'm not at being a plumber and heating and air guy, I'm at RPW, there's no income. So when I give, I get back from those fans. When I hear, "This is awesome," that's everything to me. Or, "Holy shit, holy."
When that maneuver was done into the corners, it was known as the Blu-ray.
We've been getting a lot of those lately. So, you know, that is what I want back for my work. So if you ever look at me up by the lighting booth, you'll always see a smile ear to ear when I hear the fan chants. Or the "This is awesome" is great. I love that.
As we come to the end of a story that is just getting started, Bill tells us what we can expect for the future.
Future, you can expect this. A lot less running around because I'm focused on this business now. I enjoy it. An event and catering company is in my near future. I feel it. The Holy Spirit talks to me and says, you know, with my wife's cooking abilities, mine and the family, I think that you might be looking to see that happen at St. Joe's Park. As far as my plumbing, heating, and air business, I'll do this till I'm dead. You know, I come from a poor family. You know, I don't have an inheritance. I don't have money put away. I have to live check to check like everybody else. I look for big things with Rocket Pro because that's my retirement. That's where I want to spend my time. That's where my passion is. That's where my time goes. That's where my thinking is at, which is why I lean towards the catering and event company, because I could do this for others.
And there we have it. The story of how a young kid from Berwyn, Illinois grew up to fulfill his life's passion. As he continues on his journey, we will be watching him every step of the way. This was Bill Schelli in the Limelight.
Thanks for the interview, because it means something that you asked me to do this. Because you know what? Sometimes you don't feel that you're a success in life. You know, you feel like you're beating your head against the wall your whole life. You start to get to your mid-50s, like me, and you turn around and go, what the heck happened to my 40s? You know what I mean? It's just gone. And you have to start thinking twilight years, you know, like, okay, 20 good years out of me with these old legs and everything. So it's the fact that you thought I was worthy enough to do this that touches my heart. And I thank you 100 times for this.